Next, I will talk about maintenance and cleaning of firing pin valves. First is cleaning. If cleaning, it is mainly to clean these two things. One is the runner, and then there's this firing pin. These two are for glue injection. This is the gate, and the glue goes through here. So these two need frequent cleaning. Other accessories require little cleaning. Then for cleaning, if it's paint, including flange glue, ab glue is included, then generally we recommend washing with thinner. For other silicones, you can ask the glue manufacturer for this. Cleaning dissolved solvent to clean. These two sealing rings must be removed when cleaning. They can't be soaked in the container to be cleaned. Try to clean it as clean as possible. If it's not cleaned thoroughly, there are residual impurities in it. Will block this needle. Then you can see that there are 3 white sealing rings inside this one. If this sealing ring is damaged, so this little hole in the valve body, it will spray glue out. At this time, these 3 white sealing rings need to be replaced. I'll take it out for you. If you take this, we usually use M for long screws. Then plug it in like this from below and push it up. Then these 3 seals will come off. As you can see, these 3 sealing rings. Then, after these 3 sealing rings are worn, but as soon as this thing is removed, you can't install it again. Then be sure to replace it with a new set of sealing rings when installing. And here's a completely new set of seals. Open it and take a look. These 3 seals. The 2 on the right are the same, and the left one is different, right? Then, when we install it, we should use this different one. This is the sealing ring that is different from the other 2. Then from here, and then the cone. You can see that this one is tapered on one side, and the other is flat. The cone is down. Then press it in. Press it in with your hand, and press it in slightly. After pressing in, then press the next one. This one is also with the cone head down, and the one below just happens to be on top, and press it in. And this one too. Press it in. After pressing it here, then use this tapered metal thing, also with the pointed end down, and press it down. If you can't press it, you can use something hard to push it from below. After this, and then continue to press down. At this time, you can take the previous screw and use the butt downwards and knock it slightly. This is basically the installation completed. This cone-shaped, this white sealing ring, this completes the installation. Basically, that's it. Okay? Next, I will demonstrate the assembly process to you. The first is these 2 things. When installing, you should pay attention to this place. On the upper part of the seal ring, put some grease on, including this place where the thread is. Also put some grease on. It will be smoother to screw it on after that. Otherwise, it's going to produce this sizzling, harsh rubbing sound. Then it is to install this bearing with 3 small parts. Please pay attention when installing this. It has an installation order. First, take one of these silver ones and put it in your hand. And then the yellow one is sandwiched in the middle. You can see that the yellow one is sandwiched between the other 2, right? And you take the spring and you put them like this, right on top of the spring. Hold it with your hand. Put this from top to bottom. And put it on carefully. Be sure to pay attention to this when installing. Don't lose any parts. That's it. And I put that aside. Don't reverse the bearing installation order. Okay? And then next, we install this tappet. When installing the tappet, around the seal ring, apply some grease. And then also, inside this cavity, we're going to put some of this grease in too. Okay, then we're going to insert this firing pin through it. Just press it. The next step is to put these two together. And also on the seal, let's put some of this lube on. Paint it and put it in. Don't drop the spring when installing this. Then tighten it. Then this part is done. The next step is to install these small components. First, take this black O-ring. First, install this black O-ring. Apply some oil before installing. On this firing pin, everyone must pay attention to this when maintaining it. Apply some oil, and then put this little black seal around the needle. Next is this black gasket cover on it. And then this spring. And then the spring. Don't get this order wrong. If you do it the other way around, it will leak air. Then tell you in detail here to find a black sealing ring inside. If you see it wear out, it should be replaced in time. If the small hole is emitting gas, then it means that the black sealing ring inside is not installed properly, or it's worn out. This should also be disassembled, checked, or replaced in time. If the small hole is emitting gas, it means the black seal ring is damaged. Then if this small hole is glued, it's in this firing pin holder. 3 white sealing rings are damaged. Everyone should distinguish between air and glue. The damaged parts are different. The next step is to plug these two in. Make sure the metal inside doesn't fall out. Then insert it. After inserting it, this opening, because there's a lot of these wheels in there. Then we're going to put this feed port. When we install it, align the feed inlet with the air inlet here. Align them. Then we put the screws back in. Okay, I'll install it back here. And so is this firing pin seat. Install it back. This sealing ring must be on it before installation. I also screwed it for him with a wrench. The next step is to install this connector for this feed. When installing this joint, be sure to wrap some raw material tape. The previous raw material tape can clean it up. Then take out this raw material tape. Wrap a few circles here, usually 3 or 4 circles. You don't need to wrap too much. Too much is not easy to twist. This raw material belt is so tight. We screw it in. Also use this wrench to screw it back. Number 10 wrench. When screwing the joint, attention everyone! Just tighten it to the right position. Don't twist it too hard, because this joint is a copper joint. If you twist it too hard, the joint is easy to break, because it is screwed with a wrench. So you just need to work hard. Because it has this raw material belt, sealed by raw material belt, it's not that the tighter you screw it, the better it seals. Okay, then the needle is turned with this nut. when you usually twist the needle, the knob above needs to be twisted a few times in reverse. Then screw it up again. If it can't be screwed, then it's okay. If you turn the knob in reverse, and it can still be twisted, then continue to turn it up. That is to say, this thing is to adjust the middle pin. If the knob is screwed too far down, the pin will hit the needle. You feel like it's screwed in place, but in fact, the needle hasn't been screwed in place. When it's working, he's going to leak glue from the back of this needle. That is to say, when everyone usually applies the needle here, the upper part must be loosened in reverse. Loosen a few turns to screw it in place. Okay? In this way, the main valve body is basically installed. The next step is to install this solenoid valve. Don't forget the green sealing ring. Put it on top. Then you can see, this one has a groove. This is the air inlet. Fight against Confucius below. The slot should also be stuck. When you are tightening this thing, you must pay attention, because it is a double-sided boss structure. So when screwing, be sure to look at the gaps on both sides. Twist it evenly. Don't keep screwing unilaterally. Adjust it on both sides, and then screw the gap evenly. In this case, the valve is installed. Okay, that's all for today's introduction of this valve.